Hello, Fun Formula. I'm going to give you a little review from testing last week in Barcelona. As you know, I was there in the thick of it, so I'm going to try and share with you all my experience. And I hope you enjoy it. So let's start with highlights from the trip. Definitely has to be being in the paddock and being lucky enough to spend the day with Marusa in their garage. I won their Winter Wonderland competition and found out at Luton Airport on the Monday I was flying out to Barcelona that I would be able to spend the Wednesday with them in their garage. A once in a lifetime experience, I'll tell you that. You just getting to be in the garage with their headphones on, with the radio, listening to conversations between the engineers, and hear Charles Peake talking with his engineer. It was just incredible. I can't reveal what was said in those radio messages. A, I got told I couldn't buy the team, and B, I can't actually remember. I was just in awe of what was going on. So even if I did want to tell you, or I couldn't. So sorry. I was casually speaking to Charles Peake's trainer, and he is gorgeous and sounds amazing with his French accent. I just wanted to, you know, drool on him, but I didn't. I'm professional. I also got to speak to the Marusa F1 team manager. You may know him on Twitter as the F1 Don. So that was really incredible just to be, casually speaking to these people while they're busy working. So that was awesome. I was also allowed into their hospitality as well, where I got, a couple of free drinks and was lucky enough to sit next to Timo Glock as he was being interviewed by the media. When I say sitting next to him, I mean a table away, but that still counts as sitting next to him, so you can't take that away from me. I was standing in the pit lane outside of the Marusa garage, and as the cars drove past me down the pit lane, the ground beneath just shook from the power of the engines. It was just amazing, and being outside in the pit lane was just wow. Thinking about it now, I still kind of get shivers and I get really excited. I was really tempted to hitchhike a lift with Sebastian Vettel as he drove down the pit lane because I was that close to him. But I don't think I'm that aerodynamic enough for Red Bull and Mr. Newey's liking, so I didn't. Another highlight obviously would be meeting all the drivers who I met, but I won't reveal that just yet as that question is still to come. I was also lucky enough to be in the paddock again on the Thursday and was given a tour of the Red Bull garage, which was just amazing. I got to stand in the little kind of pod bit out at the back of the garage, and I got to see all the guys working hard on the car. Mark Webber was just standing kind of next to the pod and was right. I felt like kind of miming to him through the window, but I didn't. Obviously, I wasn't allowed to take any photos in the Red Bull garage for obvious reasons because they're very secretive of their new car. But I will always have that memory in my head, so I don't need photos to remind me. I chose to go to testing for a few reasons. It was my birthday on the 18th of February, so it was kind of like a birthday present to myself. Also, I'm going to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in November, and I'm far too impatient to wait that long to see some live Formula One action. Plus, I just wanted to be able to see the cars live before the season starts up again. With the long winter break, I really wanted to see kind of the new designs and get to see it kind of there up close and personal. So that was another reason why I chose testing. Right, who did you meet, if anyone? Well, how long have we got? Because there were quite a few. I met Sebastian Vettel, Seb's new trainer. I think his name is Hiki or something. Whatever his name is, he's gorgeous. I just when I put my arm around him, I didn't want to let him go. I met Mark Webber, Adrian Newey, Christian Horner. I also met Daniel Ricciardo. and Sebastian Buemi was there, which I was quite surprised. I didn't expect to see him there. I met Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button's dad, Pastor Maldonado, Kamui Kobayashi, Charles Peake, Timo Glock. I also saw Felipe Massa and Rob Smedley, Sergio Perez, Bruno Senna. I saw Paul di Resta, as Force India and Marusa were sharing hospitality. I saw Vitaly Petrov in the pit lane outside the Caterham garage. I also met a few members of the new Sky F1 team. I met Ted Kravitz, Geordie Thompson, and Fenners. You may know him from Take It Like a Fan. He does that with football. So I was quite surprised to see him there, and I don't know what he'll be doing with the Sky F1 team, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I also saw Ross Brawn as well. He was on the telephone outside of the Mercedes garage. So only a few F1 folk, not that many. How much did it cost? Well, it was €15 a day admission into testing. I also paid €70 for a tour of the circuit. So all together to get into the circuit, it was €115 for the 4 days, which really is not. Was it 115? Trying to work out my maths. About 115, €130 for the 4 days. So reasonably good price. My hotel was €100 for 5 nights. That was just like room only. I stayed in a hotel about 5 kilometers from the circuit, in a place called Mollet de Valle or something, however you pronounce it in Spanish, I don't know. And it was about 25-30 minutes outside of Barcelona itself. But I was that close to the circuit, I could, hear the Formula One cars from where I was staying. And then it was about £72.50, something like that, return flights with EasyJet from Luton Airport. All in all, I think it was very well priced. It cost me kind of less than a Grand Prix weekend at Silverstone. So I'm happy with how much it cost. I would recommend testing, as it's a fantastic experience. It's weird because you feel much closer to the action, as there aren't that many people that go, even though if you already have a ticket to the Spanish Grand Prix in May, you can get into testing for free. So I was really surprised that not many people showed up. And even when Alonso was testing, I thought it would be filled with like crazy Alonso fans, but it wasn't. So I was quite surprised with that. So it's just nice and low key, so you can enjoy the action without the mass crowds of a Grand Prix. The weather was beautiful. It was freezing cold in the shade, but once the sun was on you, it was glorious. The 4 or 5 days that I was there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was gorgeous. It's just a great experience. And on that, you should all kind of try and do it if you can. I know money's tight for everyone, but it's a great experience. Down points of the circuit, there were a few. It's not brilliant to get to. You can get the train to Montmello, which is where the circuit actually is, in that town. The train is cheap and it is good service, but the walk from the train station to the circuit isn't direct. There's nothing that I would call kind of a proper footpath to get there, and it's not very well signposted. I saw one sign and that was it when I was doing the walk, but you can do the walk. It's about a half an hour walk, but it feels more like a hike than a walk. Once you're in the circuit, be careful. It's a path service, isn't brilliant. The steps are just kind of like planks of wood positioned to make steps. So if it rains when you're there, it'll be incredibly slippy. So make sure you have sensible footwear on. You don't want to, go flying and hurt yourself. So yeah, I care about you all. The circuit really doesn't cater to disabled people, especially in wheelchairs. There are hardly any ramps for wheelchair users to use. To get to the main grandstand, there's a ramp to get onto the main concourse, but no ramp to get into the actual grandstand, just steps. I saw I saw a couple of people in wheelchairs really have to struggle to get up them, so it's not really good for that. They're clearly not kind of health and safety conscious over in Spain. Ladies, beware, as the toilets don't have any toilet seats. I know, crazy. So you will all have to master the art of hovering, unless you want to fall in, that is. They don't have any TV screens up, which I'm surprised. I thought in the main grandstand they'd at least have one. So you could like follow the cars on track, like all the way around the track, and keep on track of timings as well. I know it's testing and times aren't important, but it is nice to know kind of who's lapping what, and how many laps people are doing. I actually found out more when I got back to the hotel on Twitter than I did when I was actually at the track. You know, when Daniel Ricciardo stopped on track, you know, I didn't know why everyone was coming in, until I got back on Twitter and saw, oh, you know, yeah, he had a problem or whatever. And I didn't even know that Lotus had left and packed up and had gone, until I got on Twitter. So, you know, that's not brilliant. Because the commentary, there is commentary in the main grandstand, but it's all in Catalan. So when they are going through times that the drivers have set, you have no idea what's going on. Obviously, if you speak Catalan, then you're all winning. But if you're not, then you're a bit screwed. Also, people are allowed to smoke in the grandstand, and a lot of people smoke there. So if you are a smoker, then you don't have to worry about kind of missing the action when you do go out and have a cigarette. But if you're like me and don't smoke, it's not very pleasant. You know, sitting and watching testing when you have kind of people smoking around you and blowing smoke in your face, it's not very pleasant. Onto the positives of the circuit. I don't want to kind of bore you all with letdowns. But once you're in the circuit, it's great. You know, once you've got your head around things and you know where you're going, there's plenty of great viewing places of the track. And everything is signposted well. Just brush up on your north, south, east, and west in Spanish. You know, everywhere is spotless. There are plenty of rubbish bins, and there's people constantly walking around picking up rubbish that is on the floor. So, you know, cleanliness is a good thing. We like clean. So thanks for listening to my review. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope I haven't kind of bored you too much, or kind of ruined your time at testing if you are going. But if you are going to testing this week and you have any questions, any queries, anything, just let me know. Drop me a tweet at Ailish Catherine. I've also kind of written up a couple of top tips on my blog, so you can check them out. And if there's anything else you need, you know, I'm here to help. So thanks again for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.